Welcome to A&K Computers WinTOS Termite Report Writer Overview. In this video, we're going to cover some of the menus that come with the software. Some examples is our scheduling. By clicking on schedule, you can view a weekly schedule. Here you can see all the appointments that were scheduled at any given time. Also, we can schedule termite appointments through our scheduled job screen. You notice here when you click on add, it's going to assign it a serial number, and of course the date of inspection, also some time slots. You also can create the actual termite inspection report number as well as field sheets that can be given to your termite inspector. In our payment process screen here, simply type in the invoice number and press enter. This is particularly if you have a contract going out along with your inspection report and that agreement is signed and you go out and do the work. You simply can go into write reports and pull up the report number to create the invoice. And of course, when payments is received for services that were rendered, you simply can have a date as well as a check number and the amount received, and all you have to do is hit post. In our reports menu, we notice here that we can print out our findings and recommendations code along with address inspected and aging reports, payment reports, and statements and all that kind of great stuff. Our activity report, should you submit your reports online to the Structural Pest Control Board by clicking on read and prepare report. You change it to all settings, enter a start date and ending date, and click OK. And this is what you're going to see. You'll notice that you have the addresses. By clicking on electronic filings, you're going to see this. And when you save it to a computer, you simply click on WDO and click OK. What that's going to do is send this report to a WDO folder that's created in our directories. In our chemical field here, this will allow you to prepare a pesticide use report. If you do a notice of completion and you apply materials at the time of service, that information is entered on our notice of completion. This will allow you to print out a pesticide use report for any given month. Also, in our county setup screen here, this is where you enter the county information that you service, as well as your pesticide information. In code setups, we have printer setup feature. If you have a default printer, you also can have edit finding and recommendations codes. If you wish to set up your own codes, you simply click on add new comment, enter the information and your code description. Also, we can do it on a batch level by going to edit multiple findings and recs. What you're going to see here is some existing information that comes with the software. And as I'm scrolling down, you can view all the information. And then as I go towards the bottom, you're going to see the findings and recommendations. You also can delete and insert information. In our code setup, we have operators. This is where you're going to enter your inspector's information, name, and field rep or applicators or operator information. Also, the software does have the ability to load a digital signature. In options, this is for AKUs primarily. We have user info, which allows you to do protections as far as passwords of who's going to be logging into the system, as well as change admin password, which will allow you to set up your own permanent clearance codes. Utilities allows you to select backup features, like if you want to back up your customer database that's within the software, along with any diagrams. And of course, we have other menus here. And before accessing these menus, please contact A&K Computers. In preferences, you can notice here at the tab General, we have a selected state feature. We are aware that there's companies in other states that have a termite service. And you notice here we have different forms for different states. Company information allows you to enter your company information as well as your company logo. And systems allows you to select the software to run on a network environment, and simply clicking that feature and applying OK, the software will allow other users to have access to it. To write reports, this feature allows you to enter the actual inspection report information. You notice that we have findings and recs, diagrams, invoice, contract information, and notice of completion. I'm just going to scroll back to the first one here real quick. So if you go finding and recs, you're going to see here, this is where you enter your information. The batch input feature allows you to do 1 through 5, and for those companies doing 1 through 11, you also have that ability. Once you enter the information, any prices or section 1, section 2, or section 3, that information, you simply click here to post a batch input, and this screen was going to appear showing you all the detailed information, and also you can alter this in any way, shape, or form, and you can insert additional comments. We also have the diagram feature. You simply graph the diagram onto here. We have shapes and symbols up here. This is through Microsoft Paint. And also you can do a invoice, and just like I mentioned before, if a contract goes out with a report and the agent or landlord or property owner signs that information, you simply can access this report and create an invoice, which looks similar to this. You have the property inspected, who's the bill going to go to, along with any additional charges, and you also can enter a payment information as well. On our contract page, there again, this is a contract. This is, you go to batch input and then you copy from findings and recs. This information is transferred over to the contract page, so you don't have to redo it manually. And should you do a notice of completion, if the agreement's been signed and you go out several days later to do a notice of completion, and you also will notice that up at the top here we have other features for other forms if you choose to do a second or third notice of completion. And we also have information where you select records. You can access drawings, findings from regs, and all that kind of good stuff. And you also can lock a report should you don't want anyone else looking at it or make changes on it. This ends the overview for the WinTOS Termite Report Writer.